How's it going, everyone? Good afternoon. And I don't know if you can tell where I am, but I am here at Disney Hollywood Studios, and that behind me is Smugglers Run here in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, it is. And tell us, why are you in Galaxy's Edge today? Is there something we should know?
Yes, there is. I got a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance. No,
Oh,
not really.
impossible.
I'm
That
not.
doesn't
I
happen.
did that one time, and that was it. No, the reason I'm here is because recently Walt Disney World has put out that beginning on February 16th, you'll be able to get a fast pass for Smugglers Run, which is one of the top three attractions here at Disney Hollywood Studios, as probably in the top five most popular ones here at Disney World in general. For the longest time, it's just been standby where you wait in line and then you go on it, but or unless you got a special re-ride. But February 16th, if you have the ability to book 6 months in advance if you're staying here, then you'll be able to book it to get a fast pass onto that attraction right there. And let me just say, you need to, because it is currently a 70-minute wait. When I got here, it was 65. It bumped up to 85. Now it's back down to 70.
They must have heard you were there. And so the time went
Yes.
up. And from what I understand, everybody, it sounds like Disneyland will continue to not have a fast pass for Smugglers Run. In fact, it'll be the standby as they have done from day one. So it doesn't sound like anything is changing at Disneyland. But nice to hear that fast pass is coming, and you can book it ahead of time, like many people do with a Walt Disney World vacation, knowing that that's now coming to as an option, to Hollywood Studios, and your Hollywood Studios day is pretty cool. Would this top either of your lists in terms of planning a vacation there? Would you book this fast pass?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Absolutely
I
not.
wouldn't either. Yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of curious about what it's going to do to the line because
Yeah.
I mean, every single day I see pictures posted from Disney World of people trying to get their Rise of the Resistance pass, and they're waiting around and they go and check out the line for Smugglers Run, and it's like 100 minutes long, like 80 minutes long, like to the point where it's going like into backstage areas and things like that. Like, so isn't it gonna make the line even go slower so that there'll be even more people waiting? I don't know. It seems like I'm not sure how it's gonna work. I'm really curious.
It tends to do that. FastPass does tend to do that. So I guess for the sake of pre-planning, that's helpful to know that you can book it ahead of time.
Yeah.
But man, when you get there and you missed your window or weren't fast enough, because I would imagine that this is still very interesting to a lot of folks that have never been on it.
Yes.
Everybody wants to do it at least once. So I'm sure this will be a really hot fast pass ticket for quite a while. But knowing that you now have this option, I think is cool. Hopefully we'll spread the fast pass pool around a little bit at Hollywood Studios, where these mega attractions don't really exist. There's only a few.
Like Slinky Dog is like the hot player right now.
Yeah. And then of course you still have the boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance online, and hopefully when it comes to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, we'll see what happens there in terms of fast pass or boarding pass. Garrett, have you heard of anything when it comes to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
For Mickey and Minnie's Runaway, I've only heard that it might be a boarding pass type system, and I wonder how that will go. One thing I do know about this, however, is that if you go into the My Disney Experience app, they have different tiers of attractions where usually Slinky Dog Dash is a tier 1, and then you can only get one tier 1. This is going to be added into the tier 1, so you can choose either Slinky Dog or Smuggler's Run, and then you'll have your list of, say, Toy Story Midway Mania, the Space, or the Little Green Man Saucer Spin, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster. So this gives definitely a lot more options out here. So if you're planning your vacation, you can say, let's do that, and then we'll wait in line for Slinky. So I think it's going to alleviate a lot of the lines around the area just because you have more choices. Always having more choices is always a better bet, but nothing with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But I'm looking forward to that. There's nothing outside of the Chinese theater that pretty much says there's going to be an attraction here other than 2 signs that say coming soon. There's nothing more than that. So I like how they're sort of keeping it under wraps to create the suspense and all that.
Very cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to that attraction as well. I've mentioned many times on this program. I planned a trip last year specifically to go see it when it was supposed to open the first time.
Same. My husband and I did too, and we were really sad that
Frustrating, right?
it wasn't open.
Yeah.
We're really big fans of the shorts. They're hilarious.
Amazing animation, really great stories. You're right. Hilarious.
Yes, they're like very memeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what happened? It's Mickey
Yeah.
tripping on Minnie tripping on a dwarf. It's magical. So I really want to see all those really random, like off the wall moments from the show in a ride.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Like Potato Land.
Just
Yeah.
like Potato Land.
Potato Land.
Potato
That's a great
Land.
episode.
Yes.
It'll be
Yeah.
it'll be fantastic to finally get this attraction and to add that into the mix of all the tier 1 fast pass selections potentially. And I would imagine that the boarding pass thing will probably carry over for the sake of the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway attraction, just because it seems like that's going to have to. That's probably going to be a good strategy to try and split the two. That's probably going to be a good strategy to split both your. I think the Rise of the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's to try and determine, hey, which one here is more important to you, and that way you're going to have more probably happy guests because they're going to get one over the other at least, so there's still an option for them. Might work out.
I wonder what the. Sorry, go ahead.
And if they're there multiple days, they can just go back and swap it.
Yep. Yeah, more options.
I wonder what the limitations will be, like if they're going to have 2 different types of boarding passes. Like I guess they're just going to say, oh, you could either do Runaway Railway or Rise of the Resistance. I'm curious if they're going to make you choose one or if they'll let you do both in one day if you can get it. I don't know.
I can see it being an either or.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too hot.
Yeah.
Yep, that's for sure. Garrett, what else is happening in Walt Disney World this week?
There's always a lot going on. So if anyone is a fan of the water park here, of course, we have Typhoon Lagoon and as well as Blizzard Beach. Well, the H2O Glow Party at Typhoon Lagoon, where pretty much Toy Story takes over Typhoon Lagoon and has pretty much a giant glow party. That is coming back, and tickets are now on sale. They go from May 17th through, I believe, August 29th. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wade. But it's $65, which pretty much gets you a night party at the water park. So if you've ever wanted to wonder what it's like to swim in a pool at night and you've never done that before, $65 and you can do that. But Wade, I know that you've gone to that event before, and you said that it's a really cool time, that it didn't really pull out the numbers. So I'm wondering what sort of strategy it will be for Disney to pull more people, because this can either be a hit or a miss event. I know they're trying to get more activity into the water parks, because trying to compete with Volcano Bay over at Universal is very challenging. So maybe this will add a little excitement and life to the water parks out here.
I got to say that, obviously I was able to do this event last year, mainly out of curiosity. I wanted to see what it was like because we've talked before about sort of the value of adding a water park to your trip and whether or not that's even worth it. And Tyler had mentioned in a prior broadcast that it's not. It's really not worth adding to your experience overall, just because if you've only got so much time, forget about the water parks, focus on other things. And so I wanted to do this to really see what it was going to be like, because if you're doing a special private event, then there's going to be special entertainment, there's going to be special food, that they're going to sort of amplify what's already there. I did not expect this to carry on into this year, based on what I saw. So, and what I mean by that is, went into this park going, this is okay. This is fun. There's a lot here in terms of entertainment, in terms of like they had a DJ and they had character meet and greets all over the place, which is fantastic because you get that quick access to them. I never had to wait in line, which was amazing. So attractions or entertainment, I didn't have to wait for. And then the special menu was, believe it or not, really inspired for a water park. Most water park menu fare is very basic, but they got creative for these parties. So I tried a little bit of everything, but the reason why I said I didn't think they were going to do it this year, there was nobody there. It was very quiet. And they have like a beach scene basically where the DJ is on a big stage and they've got Rex from Toy Story wearing his sort of raver outfit. And it's a really cool look to this corner, but there were probably 15, 20 people that were in the sand in front of the stage and barely anybody was getting into it. The wave pool, which is always the biggest attraction to Typhoon Lagoon, probably had close to 100 people out in it, but I did not see this party looking like, from a financial perspective, as a success, just based on headcount. And so I looked at it from a business perspective and thought, I don't think this is happening again. Well, I stand corrected. It's coming back, and I don't know if you get the discounted price, the $65 price. Okay, it might be worth it in summer to do a water park at night, private party, right? And the characters alone, because they went with all Toy Story theme, so the characters alone to get that special access is really cool. So I think that might be potentially as a one-time, one-off worth it. I did not anticipate it coming back. Though it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being worth it. I've always been curious about the party, so I'm glad to hear your perspective on it. It seems like it's a lot of fun, and I did say I don't think it's really worth your time to do the water parks, but if there is something special going on, I could see that being cool, and especially like you said, not waiting in line, which is, I mean, that's what wastes your time at a water park is waiting in line all day. So
yeah, if you want Typhoon Lagoon to yourself, go to one of these parties. Nobody's going to be there, and the private parties in general at Walt Disney World. Hit and miss based on what they're offering and the theme and stuff like that. But a lot of times people go to these parties to not wait, to go on attractions with far less wait or no wait at all.
Right.
So it's always nice to have that. But Typhoon Lagoon, significantly smaller than your typical theme park that you're going to find. And it's just one of those environments where if you've never been there and you want to have sort of a special experience with your family, okay, it's going to be costly, but I think it might be worth it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So, Garrett, you gonna go to the party?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the service dog here. That was hi puppy.
Doggy, yeah.
Sorry,
Doing
the dog was in
job.
the photo, and it got me really excited because I don't have friends, and so I thought maybe the dog could be my friend.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'll go to it because I've been to both water parks when I was a cast member, and they're cool, but summertime they're worth going to, but it's so hot. I'd rather just stay at a resort pool, like go to beach clubs, swim in that pool all day. But maybe I'll check it out for the sake of journalism and for the sake of showing all our lovely friends out there what it's like. So
the people need to know, Garrett.
Yeah.
The
but
people
I
need
will.
to know.
Yeah. But I do want to do both of the water parks and vlogs over the summer, just so I can show people what they are, just so I can showcase water parks. Because the water parks do make this resort worth a lot more, just because you can go to the park one day and like, man, it's really hot. I don't want to hang out at the pool. Let's go to the water park. And I think it's a great thing to have here. But if they cost the same as a one-day admission to Magic Kingdom, I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth that much. But I'll definitely check out the water parks again.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Not sure when.
Well, excellent. And I understand there's some activity at Magic Kingdom this week. Some news that came out of there. What should we know?
Yeah, so at Magic Kingdom, first thing I want to say is last night at Magic Kingdom, there was a huge concert event at Magic Kingdom last night. So, well, I'm going to get to the Pirate League. I want to talk about something else so fast. I'm sorry. Last night at Magic Kingdom, there was a huge party for the Parks and Resort Scandinavia team where they rent out the entire park, and Axwell, who is a DJ from Swedish House Mafia, pretty much they had a giant rave on Main Street on the castle with flames everywhere. I saw a video of it and I thought, man, I want to be a part of that. So,
you love your raves.
Yeah. But going on at Magic Kingdom, it's something very sad. Pirates League is coming to a close on July 26th. If you do not know, that is pretty much 6 months exactly from today's date, because many people book that as an experience they want to do with their families. So they have to put it in now so you can get your final reservation. And for those that may not know what Pirates League is, it's simply Bippity Boppity Boutique, but way cooler because it's pirates. So you and your kids, whoever, can go on in there. You hand them a couple dollars, just a couple, and you can become a pirate, whether it's a cut, scar, eye patch, whatever, or you can go full on skeleton Barbossa mode. And that is essentially what it is. But what
Always
really
go
is
full
cool about it.
Barbossa.
Say that again?
Always go full Barbossa.
Yeah. Barbossa Rock. But one thing that's cool about it is that it's pretty much in the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. Rather than walking into the attraction, you walk off towards the gift shop a little bit, and it's right in there, and you step in there, and it seems like you're actually in a pirate ship or in a pirate, maybe a pirate tavern, where they have different items and motifs. And if you've ever been to Bibbidi Bobbidi, you know that in there you have to be kind of quiet and friendly, but inside there they'll yell, and they come to life. People really become characters themselves, the cast members do. So it's sad that it's leaving. But yeah, it happens.
Yeah, kind of tough to hear because it is sort of the counterpart to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, as you had mentioned, and knowing now that it is leaving Magic Kingdom as an offering for kids and kids at heart is strange.
Yeah.
Wonder what's going on.
I guess it wasn't that popular. Maybe. I mean, there were a lot of times I would walk by and it was closed. So I don't know. And I would always do that little scavenger hunt that they have in Adventureland over there for the pirates, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but one of the little clues that you find is in the Pirates League. So I wonder how that's going to affect that game.
Whoops.
So we'll have to see. But I'm sad it's going for all the little kids who would like to be pirates. You know?
Yeah. Sabina, did you ever see the Pirates League?
I
walk
never
by?
saw the Pirates League.
Yeah.
I'm very new to going annually to Disney World, so there's still a lot of like nooks and crannies that I didn't get to experience, and clearly now I'll never experience the Pirates League.
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
It's a damn shame.
I think you'll live. It'll be okay.
It's Treasures of the Seven Seas. Just in
Okay,
case you're
Treasures
wondering.
of the Seven Seas. Thank you.
I looked it up.
You know what we call that? Point of order.
Point of order.
Point
There
of
you
order.
go.
Thank you very much. Yeah. No, it's good to hear that the potential for something new to come on board here, maybe in this space, perhaps a reimagining of this location and theme. However, it being sort of where it is, and tucked over on that west side of the park, it's got to stick to certain themes. It's very very unique in terms of what it can do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope they don't just go like, let's make it more gift shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a fear of mine.
Well, they're
see.
rebooting the Pirates franchise too. Maybe that's something to do with that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was talking to Garrett earlier this week about sort of the west side of Magic Kingdom needing something else to go back there, something else to pull people over. And there's an additional expansion space on the west side back there in Magic Kingdom where that's a possibility. And so knowing that, this may potentially get cleared out because we don't know what's coming in its place, perhaps it's making way for something bigger. We can dream. And I'm sure that one day soon we will hear what goes in that spot. Garrett Hassel.
Yes.
You tell us, when it comes to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Rise of the Resistance, all of the boarding passes lately have just been gone within the first 30 minutes of opening. Have you heard any horror stories, or do you have any tips as to how you can get those boarding passes?
Yeah, the best tip is wake up early, drink some coffee, and be here when the park opens. That's honestly the only thing you can do. When the Disneyland one opened, apparently there are people cheating the system by doing special screenshots of like barcodes and showing it. But here it's remained pretty locked in. Many people like the new system where it's once the park goes active, it's full. Other people don't like it where they want it to be a first come first serve. Where if you're in the park at 4:45, you get it. I'm not so sure there is a right or wrong answer for Rise of the Resistance. It's a popular attraction, but I think that with Smugglers Run becoming a FastPass soon, I think Rise of the Resistance will follow suit, maybe after Mickey and Minnie's Railway opens up, but who knows, truthfully. But I've been diving around doing some research, and this is Star Wars related, and that there's still an area, for Smugglers Run right here. So there is a potential that this attraction may evolve more than how it is. So I believe the original setup was that there were going to be 3 different missions that you could go on that would be a part of the Star Wars Solo story, like about Han Solo. And the rumor that I've heard is that because The Mandalorian, the show on Disney Plus, has been so successful, they want to somehow tie it into this attraction. How do they do that? I'm not so sure because, as we know, the timeline of Galaxy's Edge is locked in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So I'm wondering if they're going to potentially break that so that way they can have a little bit of the Mandalorian character walking around, maybe interact with the child Baby Yoda as well as Mando, the Mandalorian. So I'm hoping that this attraction adds more missions there because doing the same thing over and over, it's fun, but people want to explore more of the galaxy. There's so much galaxy. So little time.
Yeah, I mean, Star Tours is still very much more thrilling than Smugglers with the different destinations and the different tie-ins like we had for Rise of Skywalker.
I 100% agree.
And it's a lot more like joltier, I would say,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yeah, I didn't anticipate it being very long before they steered away from this whole timeline thing. This timeline idea of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge living in a certain point between all the stories and stuff like that. I knew eventually that was going to be thrown away with. Now nothing officially has happened, but it sounds like it's already potentially being toyed with, and I knew that was coming.
No, definitely, because they totally like pulled back on a lot of plans that they had with the immersive storytelling of the land, and it's like, you know, now you have something that's just in this weird in between. There's stormtroopers just wandering, and that's like the most like storytelling you get, and then V's around sometimes. But honestly, it makes more sense if we're not going to go full into the whole like let's be a part of a story that's happening in between these two movies, then just go nuts.
And I know that The Mandalorian, the smash Disney Plus runaway hit that everybody is in love with at this point and really celebrating. It'd be really cool to see more of that representation somewhere in Galaxy's Edge, even if it didn't necessarily fit the timeline. Well, do away with the timeline, get the child in there.
Yes.
Let's see the
Anything
Mandalorian
for the child.
Yeah, right. That child people are loving.
I don't know how I feel about that, actually. I think I would rather have them stick to the timeline and improve on their original ideas. Like, I would rather have them actually bring aliens and droids and different things to the land and keep it as the stage it was meant to be. You know, and I kind of hope they don't do like Mandalorian style. As much as I loved Mandalorian, I hope it's not. I think it would be okay if they did it in Star Tours, because Star Tours it's already broken. Like the whole thing is already like wacky. So I'm okay with it being it's outside of Galaxy's Edge. We're not taking it quite as seriously. So I would be okay with there being a Mandalorian section in there. But
or in Launch Bay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
At this point, a lot of the Launch Bay stuff
obsolete.
is obsolete.
I mean, wouldn't you guys be bummed out if Darth Vader was walking around Galaxy's Edge one day? Like, I would be kind of bummed
To have him
Kylo
and
Ren
Kylo Ren
would not
together.
be bummed out. He would just fanboy.
He'd be like, "Oh, you're back, Grandpa."
Yeah, you definitely run into those errors and continuity problems. That's for sure.
I would just be really kind of bummed if they just threw it all out the window and were like, Darth Vader and Boba Fett are here, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
I agree with you on the whole improve the story idea. That's for sure. The land needs help. At any rate.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.